Good morning, everyone. I am Crystal Dawn Moreno Olbia, Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. Today, I will be discussing Unit 2 Practical Foundations of Teaching, specifically learning theories in practice. So, in this presentation, I will discuss 5 major learning theories and their importance in teaching and learning. But before that, here's our learning objectives. Define and identify the 5 major learning theories. Explain how the 5 theories apply to teaching and learning. And appreciate the importance of learning these theories in becoming an effective teacher. So, learning theories are organized explanation of how people acquire knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behavior. So, simply put, they help us understand how learning happens. So, they explain how learners develop and process new knowledge. So, for teachers, learning theories are important because they guide us in choosing teaching strategies, planning lessons, managing the classroom, and assessing students. So understanding these theories helps us teacher to respond different needs of our learners. So let's go on to the first theory, which is the behaviorism by B.F. Skinner. So learning occurs through changes in observable behavior influenced by the environment, reinforcement, consequences, and practice. So when we say behaviorism, it explains learning as a change in observable behavior caused by interaction with the environment. So this emphasizes stimulus and response, reinforcement in consequences, and repeated practice. So when a behavior is reinforced, the learner is more likely to repeat it. So in education, this theory highlights the importance of practice, feedback, reinforcement, and clear learning outcomes. So the second theory is cognitivism. Learning is an active mental process involving thinking, understanding, memory, information process, and problem solving. So the major theorist of this is John Piaget. Cognitivism views learning as an active mental process. So it focuses on what happens inside the learner's mind rather than the only observable behavior. So it involves processes such as attention, memory, understanding, reasoning, and problem solving. So cognitivism also emphasizes the prior knowledge. Learners understand new information better when they cannot connect it to what they already know. The third theory is constructivism. Constructivism states that learners actively build their own knowledge and understanding through experience, prior knowledge, and interaction. Students are not simply passive receivers of the information. They participate in the learning process and create meaning from their own experience. So in this theory, the teacher acts as facilitator or guide while students take an active role in their learning. Two important theories associated with constructivism are Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. The fourth theory is social learning theory developed by Albert Bandura. People can learn by observing, imitating, and modeling the behavior of others. So this theory explains that people can learn by observing, imitating, and modeling the behaviors of others. So learning does not always require direct experience. Learners can acquire behavior, skills, and attitudes by observing other people. So that theory also considers motivation and the interaction between the individual, behavior, and the environment. So in teaching, this means that teachers can influence students not only through what they teach, but also through the behavior they demonstrate. The fifth theory that we will discuss is the humanism or the humanistic learning theory. So this theory focuses on the whole person. It recognizes the learning is influenced not only by intellectual abilities but also the emotions, needs, motivations, self esteem, and personal experience. So it emphasizes personal growth, self direction, and reaching one's potential. So in education, it's it encourages teachers to create a classroom where students feel safe, restricted, accepted, and valued. So the major theories associated with this theory is Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. So for us to remember the five major theories, first is we must remember behaviorism is for the behavior, cognitivism, thinking, constructivism is building knowledge, social learning, observation, and humanism is the whole person. So understanding how students learn helps teacher understand how to teach. Now to summarize, we discussed five major learning theories. Behaviorism focuses on observable behavior. Cognitivism focuses on thinking and mental process. Cognitivism focuses on an active building knowledge. And social learning theory focuses on learning through observable and modeling. And lastly, humanistic theory focused in the whole person and their personal growth. So these theories are very important because they help us understand learners and choose teaching strategies that are appropriate for their needs. So as future teachers, we should remember that there is no single theory applies to learning situation. And ultimately, understanding how students learn helps teachers understand how to teach effectively. So that concludes our presentation, and thank you for listening.